Hi, I've got Douglas Isles, one of the investment specialists from Platinum with me, and really interested to get your view, Douglas, on what are the sectors and stocks that are really exciting Platinum from an investment perspective.
Okay, thanks, Catherine. From a sector perspective, technology is by far the biggest exposure that we have, but that was mostly built in 2013. That was when we tended to buy the technology stocks. So while it's exciting and a very big part of our portfolio, what we've been doing more recently, most of last year, was moving the portfolio to the east. So we've been buying predominantly companies in China, but also in India. And Asia's gone from being the smallest to the largest regional exposure within the portfolio. So we've moved about 20% of the fund from the Western markets towards particularly China and India. Now, the big thing, really to understand that the Chinese market, it's fascinating, but secondly, it's particularly cheap. So we've gone through a 6.5-year period to the middle of last year that was as bad as we've seen in any markets in modern history. So a horrendous bear market that puts the Chinese and foreigners off owning Chinese stocks. Valuations back at Asian crisis levels. So people are pricing China as if we're in the middle of a crisis, and all we're really seeing is a slowing down and a change of direction of policy in China. So for the last decade, it's made sense to be exposed to iron ore, coal, and things that the Chinese have been buying to build their infrastructure. And the Chinese government has said that was that policy, now we're moving towards consumption. And they want a domestically focused, consumer-driven economy. So we don't want to back the winners of the last decade, we want to look at what will be stronger going forward. And that really has implications for Australia as well, having been the biggest single beneficiary of the last policies in China. So when we look forward, what we can see is that the Chinese economy will grow faster than any Western economy in the next, let's say, 5 years, and consumption will grow faster than the economy as it rebalances. So our portfolio in China is almost exclusively in companies that benefit from that consumer trend. So things like the internet, things like insurance, China Mobile, the telco. And then a company, it's a good example, is a company called Guizhou Mutai, which makes a white spirit, 54% alcohol, I think it is. So certainly warms the heart. And apparently it tastes very good. I need to try it sometime. But a bottle of this stuff's over $400 at Sydney Airport, so it's not something that I managed to try yet. And that's really the beauty of this thing. So they make this spirit. It costs about $6 a bottle to make. They sell it wholesale for $120, and then it goes on to the retailers. And the retailers, as this was the drink of choice for bribing a government official, it's been sold at a very high price until recently. Now, the clampdown on corruption in China, to us, is very important. It signifies a government intent on executing, or actually literally executing on its policies. And the ramifications of that are, less conspicuous consumption and less bribes, less gifts. So the retail price of Mutai has come back to a level not far above the wholesale price, and it's gone back to filling the tables at weddings and so on, which you'd expect a product like that to do. So this is like buying the best scotch you can possibly find, and we can buy this for 13 times earnings. So it's about almost maybe 2/3 of the price of a global alcohol company, and it's right at the heart of where the growth is going to be in the next decade. So that kind of company, while it may not be known to Australian investors, we are investing in Chinese brands with the Chinese backing, if you like, and we're really therefore aligned with where that country's going.
Yeah.
So it's very exciting, and 20% of the portfolio there.
Yeah, okay. So, and it is exciting because it's not necessarily something that's high tech or mysterious. It's playing to basic consumerism, but in a very large market.
And if you feel like spoiling yourself next time you're going through duty free, buy a bottle.
Thanks very much, Douglas.
That's great. Thank you.